Hello, this is Huskins, your Forex mentor. Welcome to your daily dose of events that shape the Forex markets. Yes, I can feel my students grin from side to side after a fabulous 60 pip gain today. We'll look at more of those trades later, and I've asked Rick to record them, in the members only section. So for details of those trades. Now let me start. Today is going to be a pink day in acknowledgement of the wonderful women all around me, and just this world's such a better place because of the contribution of these women. So I like to thank them personally. Thank you, mom. Thank you, sister. Thank you, wife. You've been the backbone of everything I've ever done. And thank you, my lovely daughter. Thank you for being a part of my life and making my life worth living. Empowering women isn't just the right thing to do, it is the smart thing to do. Uh, we often talk about finance and forex and a lot of heavy ended topics. One thing which I seem it seems lacking is that there aren't a lot of women in the forex market. I'm lucky to have a lot of students who are women, and I'm blessed by their presence. They get a different dimension into the way they end up trading, and I like to thank them right now for contributing positively to my life. Thank you, friends. Now, trade for the day. We had a pre-news USDJPY, a 30 pip easy money without pain. We'll look into that more in detail. Yesterday, I told you all to do something. Now, again, having said that, we made a 30 pip easy money without pain. In my results section on the website, I'm not going to acknowledge this as a winner trade. I acknowledge that as a no trade. The reason why I'm going to be asking Rick to do in the members only section. We made a beautiful Canadian employment trade, a 30 pip after news direction in the uh, direction of the news. The 30 pip target was achieved because of looking at the average true range, and then we were looking at the Swiss CPI, but no trade out there. So let's trade the non-farm payroll pre-news rally. Now this is what I said yesterday. I said that I expect the market to start pricing in better than expected non-farm payroll number, and my logic was that Dows are making new highs, plus the employment number, the ADP number has been good. At the same time, the unemployment, weekly numbers have been uh, all pointing to one direction. So I did not know what the numbers would be. I did not know the numbers would be positive or not. All I knew that now would be the right time for the market to start pricing that in. And what I did was I said that we'd be buying sometime in the European session, and had we done that, we'd be easy 30 pips pre-news rally. Even if you bought your and got out your somewhere, or even at the lowest point before the pre-news rally, we would have yet made between 25 to 35 pips. Now, like I said, we are not going to take this as a winning trade, because I like to be very conservative in my approach in the way I document the trades. I take a trade as a winner only and only if I've given an explicit, that buyer, and using the techniques which I've taught, exit at some places. That's when I acknowledge them as winners. Though this was a pre-news trade which I announced, I'm not going to be taking this as a winner. Now, another important thing you need to bear in mind, I announced something else. I said, buy on the rumor, sell on the news. Didn't I say that yesterday? If you doubt that, why don't you open yesterday's recording and have a look? This is the rumor. You look at how the market's going, buy on the rumor, News comes out, news causes it to be positive, okay, and then what happens? News causes the market to be positive, USDJPY, and sell on the news. This is so typical. I mean, I we can make a fortune on just these kind of trades when they occur. Now let's move on to the next trade, the Canadian Labour Force Survey. Now basically employment rose by about 51,000 in February. This followed, this was followed by after a decline in the previous months. This increase was spread between full-time and part-time work. The unemployment rate remained at 7% as more and more people participated in the labor force survey. Now, the most important thing I want you to to look at is look at this trend. This is Canadian Labor Force Survey in thousands. Look at how it's moving. This is the direction we want all good things to be moving in, right? So now compared to the last 12 months, employment grew by 1.9% or 336,000 predominantly in full-time work. This is very important. I don't want to increase in employment by one person working three jobs. That's not good for the economy. That just says that people cannot even make their ends meet and they have to take up new jobs. And certain times during recessionary periods that does happen, that employment increases, but it's at the backs of people just overworking themselves. We don't want that. Now let's look at the payrolls. The payrolls in US rose more than forecast. The jobless rate at 7.7%. Now this is what caused the movement, the spike, USDJPY spike out here. That this particular release is what caused it. Now let's look into that a little bit in detail. This is the unemployment rate. I believe the unemployment rate is more important than the headline employment numbers. Though I base my trading decisions based on the headline employment numbers, I make my investing decisions based on the unemployment rate. Now, this is a chart which I would like to show you. Pre 2008, pre crisis, look at how such a nice steady unemployment level. When we had the crisis and the recession stuck in, it started moving really high. Now look at the direction it's moving. The point is that it's moving in direction south. Maybe not as fast as a lot of folks would like to see, but this is definitely moving in the right direction. But I yet call this a sucker's rally. I call it a sucker's rally because of the kind of employment and the productivity exhibited by the US workforce. Now, I'm not going to go into that in detail. I might just blabber on for a few hours, but one thing you need to know is that the increase in the Dow right now, which is making new highs every day, including today, is in my opinion, going to continue, but it is continuing on gas. It is not continuing on real substance. We may have a flash crash sometime. I do not know when that happens, but having said that, I'm expecting a flash crash. I'm not going to be basing my trades against that particular trend. So, like a famous person had said, that the market can remain insane more than your pockets can remain filled. So I'm not going to be betting against the trend. Instead, if I, at all I have, if I'm a betting man, I would be betting for the Dow to even rise further. But I'm just going to be aware, and I'm going to let you know of when I feel would be the right time to go short on the Dow. Now, Japan's recession ends after the economy expanded 0.2% in Q4. the 0.2% annualized rate, the cabinet office said the government had anticipated a 0.4% decline. So now this, along with Kuroda, who wants to keep on printing the yen, it just goes on to our yen short trade. That means USDJPY is going to continue to rise. If you don't like USDJPY, you may want to consider the CAD JPY or Aussie JPY. But I think my favorite pair is USDJPY. It's going towards the 100 mark. Now, preview for next week. I'll be traveling, folks. It's March break out here. My kids have some free time. I'm a Forex trader, not for anything else but to spend quality time with my family and with my children. So I do not know where I'm going, but uh, I'm heading off, and I will not be at my office, in the next few days or few weeks. I will be working from wherever I am, but I just want you to be aware that it might not be as periodic as you'd want. I'd have Rick working, and he'd be posting the relevant news on my behalf. I will try to do a review and preview for you from wherever I am, but if there are some delays, please excuse that. So that's all for right now. I will meet you on Monday.